Here's reality, okay? Port Arthur, Texas used to be one of the biggest ports. Shreveport, Louisiana used to be one of the biggest ports. Baton Rouge, Louisiana still is a big port, right? When it comes to anything else, okay, first of all, Shreveport and Port Arthur, Texas are shut down. Pittsburgh used to be used to be the steel capital. Not anymore. Southeast Texas used to be another steel capital. Not anymore. I think they got like one steel plant down there. Okay. Everybody talking about Longview. That's that's where the landmen are, right? You guys are gonna understand this. Okay, and I'm gonna make this very clear. Even though there are still oil refineries in these cities, that's all that's there. Before in these cities, there used to be grain. There used to be all kinds of things coming through there. You don't shut down a port. A port is more than just oil. A port is everything. Why isn't any of this other stuff coming in? Have you guys thought about that? Now, if you go to Houston, you'll see cars, you'll see all kinds of stuff thriving, right? But all of these places that are mid-sized places, where people in people in areas outside the city live, which, whether you guys believe it or not, is a larger portion of the area than the inner city. Okay? All that's gone away. They've had to find lower paying jobs. Okay? What happened to all this? And I just named some places I understand and know. Okay? A lot of you say that steel is still made in America. That is a lie. They don't make any steel in the United States. They fabricate it in the United States. A lot of you say that we drill for oil in the United States. That's not true. We refine oil in the United States. Okay? I need you to add something in there. Do you guys understand what risk assessment, risk management, and risk mitigation are? First of all, look up what they are. Then the other part of that is, what are they needed for? And what do they do? Well, all three tools are for innovations, regulations. There's no need for either of those if you're not doing it specific things anymore. Why is there no regulation in steel? Why is there no regulation in mining? Okay? But why is there regulation in China? Why is there regulation in India? Why is there regulation in Mexico? Because that's where they are doing it. Why there's regulation in Saudi Arabia? Because that's where they are drilling for oil. Why is there regulation in Nigeria? That's because they are. So here's the thing about it. In order to catch up innovatively to the world, fuck AI, you would have to automate plants in the couple of $1 billion they're investing, or 600 billion, 500 billion, is nowhere near. That's just numbers that impress you. That's just numbers that impress you. In order to replace those workers in their plant, the level of automation would be crazy. Some of you don't understand. There's no difference between automation and AI. When you work in a plant or you work in it, shit, if you work in a fabrication plant, there's automation in there. Think about further automation. You work in a car plant, there's automation. It's all, AI has been around. It's just not been around to this point, and you hadn't placed brains in the entire plant. You haven't seen an entire plant run itself. So when you see people talk about America, You don't realize how much they have to catch up to compete with China and all these other countries because you think America is the seat of innovation. And let me tell you something. First of all, the main point of the reason that America's failing is two things: greed, and Caucasians people need for other people to do the work that they don't want to do. Those are two reasons. There is no other reason. It ain't the devil. It's not any of that. Okay? They're always trying to get somebody else to do the work. They've done that throughout their history. We can't do all this work. Where do we get it? So, trillions of dollars to catch up with what everybody else is doing. We don't even feed ourselves. Let me ask y'all a question. When's the last time y'all saw somebody out there picking potatoes in the United States? You know what our farms do? Our farms supply feedstock for chemical plants. All those corn, nobody eats corn like that. It's feedstock. I say all this to let you guys know that this is over. Not just the United States. Whiteness is over. Let it die. It's you get along, motherfuckers, that keep stuff around that God trying to get rid of. You pray get rid of prejudice and racism, but you won't let it happen. You don't get it? After all these years, these people aren't going to change. Why would what they work, why would anything that worked for them change? Are you serious? Come on, man. You can talk to a white guy all day. He ain't going to admit anything. All he going to do is try to convince you of what his perspective. And all you know, I'm telling the truth. If you really get along with white people, all that means is you've submitted yourself or subjected yourself to what they want you to subject yourself to. If you don't, you haven't. Anyone knows that they deal with me, they're going to have a hard time trying to convince me of something. Anybody. That's Juan, you're difficult to deal with. No, I'm not. I'm not difficult to deal with for black people. I'm not deal with Indian people. They're always trying to convince you of something. Well, the last time I had somebody tell me, this white guy, big time white guy, he said, Juan, if you're not believing in the Bible, then you only dealing with your own thoughts in your head. I'm looking at him like, what? He said, the Bible is the only word of God. I said, man, go tell that to somebody that believe that shit. Go tell it to somebody that believe that. Now, I need y'all to look at how stupid that is. I need you to understand how stupid that is. I'm looking at other men's perspectives of God given to me. Now, there's nothing wrong with me reading their perspectives. But God exists for me too. But I'm just supposed to accept. And at the same time, you've torn my body, killed my people, write laws that subject us to bullshit. But I'm just supposed to. Do you know how stupid? I need you to listen. Even you who are stark Christians, I need you to listen to that. Our biggest confusion is that we're holding on to a book and a God that wasn't our God. And some of you are stupid enough to say, oh, we are different people. We just listen, no, we're not. Just because we speak English, we're not. Why do you think we move to a different rhythm? And musically? Why do you think we think different thoughts? Even when we try to make conclusions based on conclusions white people have come to, it don't make sense to us. But we keep believing it to get along. We're still in perpetual slavery because we keep holding on to the Bible. Let it go. There's a God without the Bible. There was before the Bible.